the silence is broken. After weeks of tension, betrayal, and nonstop drama, Chrissy Lampkin has finally responded to Jim Jones' emotional statement. And fans say she came out swinging. You remember the chaos? The heated fight between Chrissy and Mama Jones that spiraled so far out of control. Jim Jones himself stepped in and crossed a line the whole world saw. The internet dragged him, Mama Jones doubled down, and Chrissy stayed quiet. Until now, Jim tried to clean things up with his statement, calling Chrissy his ride or die forever and insisting he never meant to hurt her. But instead of sympathy, fans called it weak, too little too late. And everyone was waiting to see if Chrissy would clap back, stay silent, or walk away for good. Now, her response has finally landed. Not just words, not just a post, but a move so bold, so direct. It sent shockwaves through social media and left fans chanting one thing. Chrissy finally won. Stay locked in, because what Chrissy just did might have changed everything for Jim Jones, for Mama Jones, and for the future of this messy, unforgettable love story. Jim Jones thought his statement would calm the storm. After days of silence, after videos of him hitting Chrissy during that heated blow-up with Mama Jones spread everywhere, Jim finally decided to speak. He posted a picture of him and Chrissy from happier times, arms around each other, smiling at a party years ago, and captioned it with 3 words, ride or die. At first glance, it seemed like he was trying to remind the world of their love, to bring the narrative back to loyalty instead of betrayal. But fans weren't buying it. The comments were instant and brutal. Too late for that? You put hands on her, bro? Ride or die. You the one who broke her trust. What Jim thought would be a sweet tribute turned into a battlefield of clown emojis, snake emojis, and thousands of fans demanding Chrissy leave him for good. The backlash was swift. On Twitter, his statement trended, but not for the reasons he wanted. Memes flooded the timeline, with users splicing his ride or die post over the video of Chrissy storming out crying. One viral tweet read, "Ride or die" turned into "Ride and Cry." It racked up tens of thousands of likes. Meanwhile, Mama Jones fanned the flames. Instead of defending Jim, instead of trying to make peace, she went live again, sipping her drink, smirking, and saying, "I told y'all. He'll always choose me." That one sentence ignited the internet all over again. Commenters accused her of being toxic, of celebrating her son's downfall, of pushing him into a no-win situation. But others praised her for telling it like it is. Either way, Mama Jones wasn't backing down. And Jim's statement felt even weaker with her crowing in the background. Through it all, Chrissy stayed silent. That silence became louder than anything Jim or Mama Jones said. No tweets, no posts, no lives, nothing. Fans flooded her Instagram begging her to speak. Say something, Chrissy. Please tell us you left him. Don't let this slide. But Chrissy didn't flinch. She let the world talk. She let Jim squirm. She let Mama Jones gloat. Insiders close to her said it was deliberate. She wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of rushing a response, one friend claimed. Chrissy wanted to move smart, not emotional. She knew the whole world was watching. So she let the suspense build. And build it did. Every day she stayed quiet. The pressure on Jim grew heavier. Every day she stayed quiet, fans speculated more wildly about what her next move would be. The media played into it too. Blogs ran endless think pieces about what her silence meant. Was she planning a breakup announcement? Was she leaving him quietly and waiting until contracts ended? Or was she playing chess, waiting to drop a bomb when nobody expected it? Headlines like, "Where's Chrissy?" and "Silence speaks louder than words" dominated gossip sites. Meanwhile, Jim doubled down. After his ride or die post flopped, he tried again, this time going on Instagram Live. Sitting in his car, he spoke directly into the camera. His voice was low, almost pleading. "Y'all act like I don't love that woman. I love her more than anything. Mistakes happen. Nobody's perfect. But that's still my queen forever." The comments were merciless. "You don't hit queens," one wrote. "Love don't look like that." Another said, "Sounds like damage control." Even some longtime fans admitted they couldn't defend him anymore. The more Jim talked, the more people waited for Chrissy. Her absence became the story. And when Mama Jones took another shot online saying, maybe now Chrissy finally realizes she don't belong here, it only added fuel to the fire. Everyone wanted to know how Chrissy would respond. Would she clap back at Mama Jones? Would she drag Jim? Or would she finally walk away once and for all? Days turned into a week and still nothing. That silence became power. Fans started declaring Chrissy already won by saying nothing. Others insisted she was loading up receipts. The theories were endless, but behind the scenes, Chrissy was plotting her move. She wasn't broken. She wasn't hiding. She was watching, waiting, and preparing. And when she finally made her response, it wasn't just words. It was a statement so bold that it flipped the entire narrative on its head. And that's the moment fans say Chrissy finally won. When Chrissy finally broke her silence, she didn't do it with a teary-eyed rant or a subtweet. She did it with precision, like a woman who'd been sitting in silence, calculating her every move, waiting for the exact right moment to strike. It started with a photo. No caption. Just Chrissy dressed in all black, sitting confidently on a couch. One leg crossed over the other, diamond earrings glinting. Glass of champagne in her hand. Her face wasn't broken. Her eyes weren't red from tears. She was calm, poised, unbothered. The image screamed one thing: I'm still standing. Within minutes, the post racked up thousands of comments. Fans lost their minds. Oh, she about to drag him. Look at that face. She not stressed. This the energy of a woman who knows she won. The photo alone sent shockwaves through the internet, but Chrissy wasn't finished. Hours later, she posted a black and white video clip. Short, sharp, just her voiceover music. Loyalty isn't proven by words. It's proven by actions. And actions don't lie. That was it. No names, no details. But everybody knew exactly who she was talking about. Fans went crazy, filling the comments with applause emojis, fire emojis, and declarations that she had officially snatched back the power. And then came the knockout punch. Chrissy appeared in a sit-down interview with a popular blogger. Calm, elegant, no yelling, no theatrics. Just truth. When asked about Jim's statement calling her his ride or die forever, she laughed softly, shook her head and said, "Ride or die. I'm not dying for nobody's lies. I've been riding, but at some point, you get tired of going in circles." The internet exploded. That one line, "I'm not dying for nobody's lies," became an instant meme. Plastered across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Fans quoted it in their own posts, calling it the line of the year. But Chrissy wasn't just throwing shade. She went deeper. In the interview, she talked about self-respect, about knowing your worth, about not letting anyone, not even the man you love, tear you down. She didn't drag Jim's name through the mud, but she didn't defend him either. She made it clear she was standing on her own 2 feet. She wasn't afraid to walk away if the disrespect continued. The interviewer pushed, asking directly, "Are you done with Jim?" Chrissy leaned back, took a sip of her water, and answered carefully, "I'll say this, I don't chase nobody. If you don't know my value by now, you never will." The clip went viral instantly. Fans declared it was the ultimate clapback, subtle but deadly. She said everything without saying his name once. One fan tweeted. Another wrote, "This is how you win, grace, dignity, and bars that cut deep." Meanwhile, Jim was left scrambling. His ride or die statement looked childish compared to Chrissy's controlled, calculated response. Where he had begged, she empowered. Where he had fumbled, she commanded, for the first time. The narrative wasn't about Jim saving face. It was about Chrissy reclaiming her voice. Mama Jones, of course, had something to say. She went live again, rolling her eyes and dismissing Chrissy's response. She'll love attention. That's all this is. Ain't nothing new. But fans weren't buying it anymore. The tide had shifted. This time, the comment section wasn't dragging Chrissy, it was dragging Mama Jones. Your son embarrassed her and you still hating? She handled it better than both of y'all. Chrissy got the win, period. The shift was undeniable. For years, Chrissy had been portrayed as the emotional one, the hothead, the one always demanding respect. But now, she was the calm, collected one while Jim and Mama Jones spiraled. The fans could see it clearly, and they crowned her the winner. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed Chrissy had made moves beyond just social media. Allegedly, she started separating her business ventures from Jim's, quietly repositioning herself so she didn't have to depend on him financially. One friend hinted she's making sure if she walks away strong. Jim tried again to control the narrative. He posted another message, this time a video of him in the studio, saying, "Y'all want us to break up so bad? But me and Chrissy been through worse. We gonna be all right?" But instead of calming fans, the video only made him look desperate. The top comment under the post summed it up. "Bro, she already moved on mentally. She playing chess, you playing checkers. She playing chess, you playing checkers." Fans rallied behind Chrissy harder than ever. On Twitter, hashtags like #Chrissy1 and #TeamChrissy started trending. TikTok edits showed her iconic moments from Love and Hip Hop alongside her new quotes, painting her as a symbol of strength and resilience. Even people who had dragged her in the past admitted she came out on top this time. And the wildest part, some fans started saying Chrissy's response wasn't just about Jim, it was about women everywhere dealing with betrayal and disrespect. She spoke for all of us. One woman wrote, "That line about not dying for lies, that hit my soul." By the end of the week, the narrative was set in stone. Jim tried to clean up, Mama Jones gloated. But Chrissy played it smart, held her power, and flipped the script. Fans weren't just saying Chrissy finally won. They were saying she changed the whole game. The ripple effect of Chrissy's response was bigger than anyone expected. Within hours of her interview airing, blogs that once thrived off clowning her were now praising her composure. Headlines shifted from Chrissy, "Humiliated by Jim," to "Chrissy takes the high." Rodin fans crowned Chrissy the winner. She wasn't just the woman who got caught in a messy fight anymore. She was the one who rose above it. For Jim, the shift was devastating. His statement, his live stream, his attempts to spin the narrative, they all looked weak compared to Chrissy's poised clapback. Suddenly, the same fans who had once begged for them to work it out were now telling Chrissy to move on. "Sis, you don't need him." One viral tweet read, "He needs you more than you need him." And that was the truth that cut Jim the deepest. For years, his identity and Chrissy's had been intertwined, their relationship playing out like a reality TV roller coaster. But now Chrissy was reminding everyone she could stand on her own. And fans weren't just entertained by it, they were inspired. Mama Jones, of course, couldn't let it go. She went live once more, her voice sharp and dripping with disdain. "She thinks she won. Please, ain't nobody winning when the family's broken." But this time, the audience didn't rally behind her. Instead, they lit her up in the comments. "You, the reason the family broke in the first place. You jealous of Chrissy. She handled it better than you ever could." For the first time in years, Mama Jones was losing credibility. Her antics weren't cute anymore. They were toxic. Chrissy's win wasn't just about her words. It was about the way she carried herself afterward. She started appearing at events alone, walking the carpet with her head high. Photographers snapping her like she was the star of the show, and she was. Her outfits were flawless, her smile unshaken. It was the ultimate message. I don't need anyone to validate me. I validate myself. Fans flooded her socials with messages of support, and even celebrities started chiming in. A well-known R&B singer reposted her quote about not dying for nobody's lies, writing, This This is the energy women need in 2025. Influencers clipped her interview and stitched it into motivational TikToks. Chrissy had turned her pain into power, and everyone could feel it. Meanwhile, Jim spiraled. Insiders claimed he was desperately trying to win her back privately. He sent flowers, gifts, endless apologies. But the gestures fell flat. One source close to the couple said Chrissy barely responded, telling friends, "He doesn't get it. I don't need flowers. I needed respect." Those words echoed online, spreading like wildfire. It wasn't just about the fight anymore. It wasn't just about the moment his hand hit her arm. It was about years of disrespect. Years of choosing his mother's approval over his woman's happiness. Years of broken promises. Chrissy wasn't punishing him for one mistake. She was standing up to the pattern, and the fans loved her for it. They began to say out loud what they had whispered for years, that Chrissy had been too good for Jim all along, that her loyalty had been unmatched, and his failure to protect her was unforgivable. For the first time, the narrative wasn't Chrissy chasing Jim for marriage. It was Jim begging Chrissy not to leave. The tables had turned, but here's where the story took a darker twist. Rumors swirled that VH1 producers wanted to capitalize on the drama, offering Chrissy a spinoff focused on her independence. The idea was floated, Chrissy Unleashed. A show about her living life on her own terms, with or without Jim. The gossip alone sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans were ready to tune in, ready to watch Chrissy shine solo. Jim, on the other hand, hated the idea. Sources said he felt blindsided, terrified of being painted as the villain in her storyline. But the truth? That's exactly what he had become. Even Mama Jones started panicking. Her smugness faded as she realized the internet was no longer laughing with her but at her. She tried to backpedal, posting a vague apology. "I just want peace in my family. I don't want to see nobody hurt." But it was too late. Fans saw through it. They knew she had fanned the flames, and they weren't about to let her rewrite history. The family dynamic was shattered. Chrissy, for once, had the upper hand. Jim was the one begging. Mama Jones was the one losing credibility. And Chrissy was the one fans declared the true winner. But even in her victory, questions lingered. Would Chrissy actually walk away for good? Or was this just another chapter in the endless saga of her and Jim's complicated love story? The uncertainty only made fans more obsessed. Every photo, every appearance, every word Chrissy said was dissected for clues. Was she done? Was she secretly still with him? Was she stringing him along to finally prove a point? No matter what the truth was, one fact couldn't be denied. Chrissy had flipped the script. She wasn't the one crying in a parking lot. She wasn't the one begging for respect. She wasn't the one being dragged. She was the one holding the cards, and the fans agreed. Chrissy finally won. And there you have it, the fight, the fallout, and now the clapback that flipped the entire story upside down. Jim thought his words about ride or die would remind everyone of loyalty. Mama Jones thought her shade would put Chrissy back in her place. But Chrissy? She didn't yell, she didn't beg, she didn't fold. She responded with grace, power, and precision, and the fans crowned her the winner. Think about how far this drama spiraled. From a public fight caught on camera, to Jim stumbling over apologies, to Mama Jones fanning flames online. And then comes Chrissy, silent for days, letting the suspense build. Only to break it with one simple message: "I'm not dying for nobody's lies." That one line turned into a movement. That one response reminded the world that her value was never up for debate. Now, the question is yours. Where does Chrissy go from here? Does she walk away for good, proving once and for all that she doesn't need Jim to shine? Or does she let him back in, forcing him to finally grow up and match her strength? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this isn't just celebrity drama. It's a story about loyalty, respect, and knowing when enough is enough. Hit that like button if you think Chrissy finally got the win she deserved. Subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this never-ending saga. And share this video with anyone who's ever followed their love story. Because the truth is clear. This chapter isn't closing. It's just getting started. The fans have spoken. Chrissy won. But the final ending? Still unwritten. Ending. Still unwritten.